Good evening. This is the Avant Garde Gamer, and we're going through the rosters of the National League now, and starting with the Eastern Division. And we'll start off with the Montreal Expos. At catcher, Gary Cotter. Barry Foote. And Bob Stinson. At first base, Ted Klazowski and Mike Jorgensen. At second base, Billy Moran and Ken Aspromonte. At shortstop, Pepe Frias and Tim Foley. At third base, Larry Parrish. This was an excellent year for him in 79, his best. In the outfield, we have the Crow, Warren Cromartie. Tony Scott. Ken Singleton. Jerry White. Larry Bittner. And at DH, Jose Morales. In the starting rotation, Steve Rogers. Frank Sullivan. Steve Renko. Mike Torres. And Joe Nuxel. And in the bullpen, we have Willard Schmidt, Dale Murray, John Montague, Bill Monbouquet, and Baylor Moore. Continuing on with the Philadelphia Phillies, we have at catcher John Stearns, Bob Boone, and Larry Cox. And number 4 catcher, he's a utility man, is Jim Essien. At first base, Willie Montañez. And Tommy Hutton. Also at first base, Del Unser. He can also play the outfield. At second base, Alan Bannister. Dave Cash. Shortstop, Larry Boa. And at third base, Mike Schmidt, the captain. Then we have in the outfield, Jerry Martin, Greg the Bull Luzinski, Bill Robinson, Mike Anderson, Jay Johnston, and that'll do it for the batters. In the rotation for Philadelphia, legend Robin Roberts, lefty Steve Carlton, Tom Underwood, Rich or Dick Ruthven, and Larry Christensen. In the bullpen, Dick Farrell, Ed Farmer, Jack Meyer, Gene Garber, and Wayne Twitchell. And that wraps it up for Philadelphia. Next up, the St. Louis Cardinals. At catcher, Ted Simmons. And Hobie Landreth. Third catcher is Mark Hill. At first base, Keith Hernandez. And Jim Pigpen Dwyer. At second base, Don Blasingame and Stan Pappy. He was the guy that was traded from Montreal to the Boston Red Sox for Bill Lee. Shortstop, Gene Freese and Eddie Casco. And at the hot corner, Ken Reitz. In the outfield, Jose Cruz, Larry Herndon, Kurt Flood, famously involved in the free agency arbitration, Jerry Mumphrey, Lou Brock, and at DH, Stan the Man Musial. In the starting rotation, we have Sam Jones, Bob Forsch, John Denny, John Curtis, and Lynn McLaughlin. In the bullpen, Al the Mad Hungarian Robotsky, Larry Jackson, Phil Clark, Jim Brosnan, and Phil Payne. Next, we have the Texas Rangers. And at catcher, Jim Sundberg. And Bill Fahey. At first base, Mike Hargrove. At second base, Mike Baxes. And Ed Brissoud. At shortstop, Tony Kubek and Toby Hara. At third base, Roy Howell and Lenny Randall. In the outfield, Mickey Mantle, the new captain and the territorial pick. He comes from Oklahoma. Willie Kirkland, Jeff Burrows, Roger Maris. That was a happenstance that he ended up with Mick, but that works out for the best. Tom Grieve, father of Ben. And Bobby Jones. At DH, Jim Spencer and Mike Cubbage. In the rotation, the Canadian Ferguson Jenkins, Jim Bibby, brother of Henry, Pedro Ramos, and David Clyde. In the bullpen, the man that Earl Weaver referred to as full pack, Don Stanhouse. Barry Latman, Gordon Jones, and Zach Monroe. And that wraps up the NL East. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.